Now, what do? You're 15, 16, maybe 17, 18, 19 years old, or 12, and you're watching this. And it's like, what can I do? You know, nobody knows what's going on. I live in a secret world. I can't tell my parents. And now if you've been caught, we'll talk about that in a second. But here's some things that you can do. You can, and this is the same thing I would give a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 50-year-old, or a 70-year-old. They're called the 5 commandments. You can pray, no matter what your spiritual place, God, I need help with this today. And you only need to stay well one day at a time. Don't go for the rest of your life, one day at a time. Number 2, you can read material related to this topic. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to give you a free book. You can read that. You can download it in your phone. No one's going to know, so that you can get some really quality information. The same information I'll give an adult. Okay, because it doesn't matter if you're 14 or 35. Addiction's addiction. Okay? The next is to call. And having accountability is going to be really important, and I'm going to talk about who in a few minutes. Now, groups for teenagers, group would be next, but they're hard for teenagers. There's very few places in the country that actually treat teen sex addiction and see that and have enough teens to create a group. So it's very hard to create a group. You can talk to some, maybe these adults I'm going to talk about. Maybe they can help with that. And lastly, you can pray again. So you can pray, you can read, you can find accountability. Now, if you have been caught, your parents usually want you to get help, okay? And if you're still not letting them know, then there are some things that you can do, like we've talked about, so that you can get some help. Here's the people you can talk to. Spiritual leaders, again, doesn't matter which community you're a part of, are usually helpful in accountability. You can say, listen, this is a behavior. I really want accountability, I want honesty, and they can tell you as far as if they're going to add scripture or praying or whatever they're going to add to help you get through that. But just telling somebody really helps. School counselors, most of them have not been trained in sex addiction, but they do understand needing to talk about it, okay? Now, if they're encouraging you to do it, that's the wrong person. School counselors, because it's your age, they go, well, it's pretty normal. And it is normal, but you know that what you're doing, if you feel addicted, is not normal. It feels out of control. So if they can be supportive, school counselors might be a right place. And if there is any groups for teenagers, they would be the best person to know, okay? But be careful who you choose, because people have been hurt by telling just anybody. And the last thing you want as a teenager is to be known as that girl or that guy who struggles with sex. So make sure that the person you do tell is trustworthy and credible. Here's also a couple other things you might want to do with your phone, okay? You might want to have it locked down. You might not be able to download apps. You might want to set it up to remove apps that are inappropriate. Facebook is a porn store. Instagram is a porn store. All these places where you access images are half naked, mostly naked, or fully naked. You might want to change to a different browser other than Google, because they tend to, when you go into images, you get in trouble. So there are some practical things you can do. There's a porn blocker on drdougweiss.com. If you've already been caught by your parents, please get that on your phone. That can help you not have some of these issues. But definitely control your social media to people you only know, actually know, or cut it out if that's where you're acting out, for sure. Okay, anywhere where you are getting resources. If you're going to a certain friend's house to get pornography, don't go there. Start doing things that are smart for you. Your intuition already knows what you should stop doing. So you might want to take a minute, write those ideas down, and start implementing them. And if you're talking to someone you're accountable to, make sure that you're doing that. And if you have friends that are sending you emails and texting, you're going to have to block some of those, because you don't need that feeding this addiction cycle in your life. They may or may not be addicted, but if you are, you have to protect you, and you have to love yourself enough to protect you. So do some of those fundamental things so that you're not getting around your browsers and doing stuff that you know that you are getting away with. Try to shut those down.